Hey, good morning, afternoon, whatever time it might be for you all. Thanks for joining. Feel free to ask any questions along the way. But my name is Amanda. I'm here with HireLevel. I've worked for the company, 14 years now. So I've seen a little bit of all the things when it comes to helping our clients manage their employees' experience through software as a service. So industry has definitely changed. The products and services that are available have drastically changed as well. So today I felt that it would be beneficial to, yes, I'll talk a little bit, got some slides that we'll go over, just kind of give me some direction, make sure I kind of stay on point. But there definitely are some things that I'll showcase in our software, a short little, tutorial. And again, feel free to stop me at any point if you've got questions, or just raise your hand, drop in a Q&A. Always available for another follow-up call with any of you. But thanks again for joining. So let me get things situated here. Make sure I'm sharing the right screen. All right. Close out of that. All right. Oh, Cynthia, I can definitely see my mic is on. Anyone else having problems hearing me by chance? Let's see. Send you a message. Okay, thank you. Cynthia, I would maybe try, do you have if you work off a laptop like I do, maybe you're plugged into a secondary screen. Maybe that secondary screen is trying to use its audio. That might work. Okay. All right. But again, this is recorded, everyone, so definitely we'll send this out once we are done. And if you got any questions, just let me know. All right, so today focus is on a few different things, and there are a couple things that's not really even mentioned on the slides that I do want to highlight, and I'll talk about more so once I get into the software solution that we do use. Just again, things that I was thinking about that I have found to be very helpful for many companies, whether or not being in manufacturing industry or not. So one key thing that is pretty relevant is managing that labor expense. How to go about that. So that time collection, your schedule that these people are working every single day. So it is important that you are using tools to manage that experience for employees, not only to keep them accountable to their time that they're working, that you have then transparency into the reporting piece with, again, keeping in track with budgets and things like that. I do find, even though we've had, we've got the tariffs, the government shutdown right now, while those all may seem to be, obviously barriers to running a business, running a department, business still has to go on. So I do still think that reaping the benefit of having, tools at your disposal to be as, nimble or lean as you possibly can be during these different times right now. But at the end of the day, and even just clients that I talk to on a pretty regular basis, everyone is just working just to keep things running as is. So, different HR solutions in today's world can help you with your scheduling, gaining insights into your time and labor management from labor tracking, keeping track of employee schedules, managing their time off, punches inside of the software. Gaining visibility through using I say here, a single data source, but what I also like to refer to as a native product. Well, what does a native product mean? It just means that you're using one solution, one company, one vendor, however you want to think of it, that is providing you many tools from recruitment to retirement. So think of in that employee experience full cycle. So again, not that it's been I would say, a major buzzword lately, but employees still need to be engaged with the tools that they're using. Everyone, expects that it can be worked on their cell phone. Obviously, they're always near us, no matter what type of job that we're performing. But having easy access to their information, pay stubs, PTO balances, to receive notifications, sign off on a handbook policy or an update. Those all can be done within mobile applications these days. So some things that are again really relevant in manufacturing, staying compliant with OSHA. There are some features, of course, inside of our platform that I will show everyone, highlight in my demo account, using effective scheduling tools. One version of just a simple scheduling tool to a workforce scheduling tool. Again, helping you manage those shifts and schedules based on, your ever-growing needs at your company, and solving some of the biggest shift coverage challenges as well, making sure that you've got the right people on the floor or working in a office setting, whatever that may look like. Having a tool to help manage that and see it from a 30,000-foot perspective will drastically help. Um, so some other things that came to my mind that I definitely do want to highlight inside of our software and our system are things like what we call corrective actions. This could be, again, someone where, you're needing to give a verbal warning, a written warning, suspension, being able to track performance, especially with your manufacturing settings. Things can cost a lot of money if, procedures are not, followed appropriately. And I think, again, that just goes to setting the tone and expectation for how employees, of course, need to, really operate and stay compliant and help keep risk under control as well. So outside of corrective actions, I also think about just tracking company assets, making sure that you're keeping track of certifications. Again, depending on your manufacturing setting, maybe you have forklifts around. Do you have other different pieces of equipment that people need to have certifications for? Where are you tracking all of these things? And also using the system will allow even employees to be alerted, hey, this expiration for this license is coming up, reminding them that they're staying compliant to help, maintain and keep then their specific certification or license. So I thought about also that as being a very helpful tool for our manufacturing clients, and these are definitely things that I talk about with them. Another big component as well that I think about when I am, employee engagement, I think of, are you using a performance management tool or a learning management system where, again, employees can, continue education, training? Do you have applications for them that they may have to review, or again, if you're in specific states such as Illinois, sexual harassment training is a required mandated type of training. How do you maintain maybe other types of specific trainings? Maybe you have your own at your facilities that you do require employees to go through annually or biannual, whatever that may look like. How are you also tracking those types of trainings? And are they expired? So again, I thought about some other tools that I can definitely highlight today. Um, so again, improving your processes. I think that the app that we do use is pretty easy to navigate and use. Gives employees that information at their fingertip. That way they can not burden an HR department or your payroll admin with, hey, I need my pay stubs from the last 3 months, or how much PTO do I have left? I need to request time off, or I need to be off on next Tuesday. So there are a lot of features that can be accessible as an employee. When we work and consult with our clients, we do talk about, what makes the most sense that employees have access to. Maybe you allow them to update their own direct deposit information in their app. Maybe they need to complete a new W-4, create a tax update. They can do that within their portal. So we do consult and talk about what are those items that may be bottleneck to you because you got a line of employees out the door, and what could maybe help streamline, take back the time that you need to focus on versus, performing administrative work or tasks whenever these employees are at your door knocking on it, needing information. In addition to just more HR processes, track your employee time effortlessly. We have clients that use a mobile app. We have clients that use a web clock. We have clients who use physical time clocks. So there are many options in terms of collecting time, and whatever fits your environment best. You could have a combination of any and all of the ones that I've just talked about. But finding the best way to collect that time also is a module that lives within our existing platform. So you're not downloading the data, importing it into your, a different payroll application to get employees paid. This would be a very seamless and smooth transition from collecting time to getting employees paid. ACA is, of course, still a thing. So if you have your 50 or 50 full-time or more equivalent employees, right, you're required to offer health insurance. And of course, you need to know if they've accepted coverage, declined coverage, things like that. So our software does help track that for your ACA compliance requirements. And last but not the least, job satisfaction with automated workflows. So when we talk about a workflow, there are a lot of alerts, notifications that can go to managers or supervisors, letting them know of employees, PTO requests, to maybe they've updated a W-4. You can review that. I know I mentioned direct deposit, that the employees can have access to change that, but maybe they can just submit that. So that way you can still verify that that information is correct, that the employee is submitting as well. So there's a lot of nice dashboards inside of the system that we do have available. We do want, again, back to employees having a good experience. A lot of this they can do on their cell phone. We want employees to be able to have access to clicking out of jobs if you are very cognizant of labor allocations as well. That way, if you've got maybe different departments, but employees maybe work from one department or the other, maybe it's associated to a different pay rate even. So knowing that a software can be customized for you will definitely be a more ooh, deep consultation for understanding what it would may take to get the system to work the way that you need it to, but something that I do almost on a regular basis, it seems like. So when we're talking about a scheduling feature, look at what you're currently working with. Again, is it a solution that's a standalone product, but maybe employees can clock in and out, but you still use a separate payroll application for employees to view their pay stubs. Maybe your payroll application does allow employees to go through a benefit enrollment, but really sitting back and assessing, okay, well, how many applications do employees use on a daily basis? And if I could streamline those items into one application, I think it may be worthy of, a deeper conversation or just really assessing, hey, here's the needs that we have and how do we improve those processes. Um, but a scheduling tool also can be a module within the tool that we do offer or have here at HireLevel. The scheduling feature, of course, marries right up to time collection as well. Again, making it a more seamless experience for the employees, for you, and again, getting employees paid at the end of the day. So the scheduling tool, which I will highlight here just shortly, it will allow for employees to, um, you know, request different shifts if they would like, ask for shift coverage. It gives managers and supervisors, an inside look to coverage to their day to day from a weekly perspective, monthly perspective. Do you have enough people on the floor for the day? I mentioned briefly certifications, avoiding that lapse certification. So again, using a system or a tool that has those notifications built into expiration dates, making that alertness set to the employee or to a manager supervisor to ensure employees are up to date with their licenses and certifications. OSHA incidents. We definitely have a portal within our application that will help track those incidents and produce that required 30A for your OSHA incident tracking. Remaining agile to business needs, so attaching rates and or labor. I mentioned this previously. If you've got different rate of pays for different type of work or labor being performed, that also can be tracked in our system. Very customizable and scalable for your labor needs and how you track that. And mentioned it as well, but ACA requirements still being a thing. So keeping mind of those measurement periods that are required for ACA can also be tracked inside of the system. Okay, last thing that I'm going to mention here, and I do want to highlight a few things, of course, inside the system, but here is a broad view of what I just really refer to an employee life cycle. So there are many products and applications that I've talked about, different platforms out in the market these days that help you, be able to automate processes, use the system. But it really is more impactful having a platform that you can do from what I refer to recruitment to retirement, that employee life cycle as a whole. So from the left side of our screen here, that talent acquisition from maintaining your candidates in an application, it allows you to post those jobs to those job boards, create a career page. You can have that, integrated with your company's website as well to after making an offer to an employee. All right, now it's time to get them onboarded to your company. How do you collect that new hire paperwork? Are you still pushing paper around? Do you have to drive to a different facility to capture some of that new hire paperwork? There are definitely great options to automate that. And again, employees can use their mobile device to complete that new hire paperwork electronically, which is nice. To your core products is what I like to refer as our HR and payroll enablement. So again, payroll offer employees an employee self-service portal. Yes, it can be paid direct deposit, pay cards. Here at HireLevel, we do manage our clients' payroll taxes, making sure that we're sending those payments and filing your quarterly returns. Garnishments, we have many clients who have garnishments, so we will also facilitate those payments and send those payments to those agencies. To your HR portion, again, allowing managers to have access or insight into the system. I definitely do recommend, a true call consultation, that implementation intake of what do managers or supervisors need access to do in the system. They don't maybe need access to every single thing inside of the application or different modules, but we'll definitely talk about and figure out what is the best way that managers and supervisors are using the system. Um, I talked about certification tracking, definitely using the more you put into a system, the more you're going to get out of it from helping you perform audits and or compliance tracking. Offboarding again can require maybe other additional information you need to capture from someone who is leaving your company. So there is a version of onboarding electronically and then offboarding electronically. Document management. So there is a place within the system to then track your, you know, personnel file electronically as well. And last but not least, to that core, just managing an employee, getting them paid concept is benefits. How do employees enroll in benefits now? Do you work with a broker that already has a platform? Great. If not, how are you collecting those enrollments of employees when it is time for benefit elections? Time and expense. So timekeeping, really again a core element to what hourly employees are needing to collect time. So of course they can get paid. To that labor management, can completely customize the system for you of how you track labor. We have physical time clocks. Labor can be tracked on them. Employees can clock in and out with their mobile device. I will be highlighting scheduling today for the most part. And last but not least, expense management. This is a great tool. I love that item inside of the platform that we do use, allowing employees to submit, reimbursements. They upload a receipt, fill out, whatever pertinent information that is needed to collect, and that can be paid out on payroll. And last but not least, but empowering employees through, again, different engagement tools, performance reviews, rewards and recognition, to really a learn management system. We actually do use a lot of these features ourselves internally here at HireLevel, and I found them very helpful in terms of, again, managing and keeping it all in one place. All right, so I've talked quite a bit. I do want to showcase really the scheduling tool, but I will also just sign into the system and show a few extra things that I briefly mentioned when it comes to HR management that I did want to highlight today. So let me get to where I want to go. Here, kicked me out. Let me get signed back in. If anyone has any questions, just let me know. It is all set up and then it signed me out here. Okay. All right, so first up, I'm going to share again my screen and we are going to go over the scheduling tool. And then I will also then sign into the system and show around a few extra things that I did want to highlight for everyone. So here we go.
Welcome to the demonstration for iSolve scheduling. Today, we're looking at the supervisor's view and how they'll be able to quickly assign out schedules to their team. iSolve has a scheduling solution designed to fit the needs of your organization through basic scheduling or with more advanced tools such as workforce scheduling. As a supervisor, I can have as many shifts set up within iSolve as needed. And as I'm looking at my schedule by employee, I also have visibility into employees who may be unavailable or scheduled for time off. Your team will have the opportunity to tie eligibility rules into shifts. So if there are any requirements, such as a license, certification, a skill, that employee would not be eligible for the shift unless they meet the proper requirements. Your managers can create and draft schedules, with you being that final stamp of approval before those shifts are reviewed by employees within their adaptive employee experience. Workforce scheduling allows the tool to automate staffing requirements based on the needs of business. Therefore, your team knows when you're properly staffed or understaffed. Alerts can be set up on shifts to properly notify employees if there's a change made to their schedule within a certain time frame. For posted schedules, alerts can be triggered for items such as no-call, no-shows or missing punches. Therefore, your team always has visibility into employee attendance through our scheduling tool. Looking from the employee's experience, your employees will have the option to review their schedule within the adaptive employee experience. Therefore, they can access at their fingertips whenever they need. With iSolve scheduling, you're able to make quick adjustments to the shifts as needed with real-time updates for employees to stay on top of their schedules. We hope you found this video helpful, and we look forward to working with you.
Okay, so just a few highlights on that scheduling tool. Yeah, it can be, again, completely customized to your needs. Do you have managers or supervisors that manage those schedules? Giving them that access to utilize the system as well. So let me get signed into my demo account. So while the scheduling tool can be very helpful, right? Again, streamlining that experience for yourself and for employees. Using a scheduling tool, like I said, it marries up to the timekeeping application as well. And again, is now an integrated and single source application inside of the product that we do use. So I've not hit this too hard, but our software primarily that we do use and manage our clients' experience is iSolved. iSolved has been in the space for, gosh, 15 plus years now. So they definitely compete very well with many different applications out there. But what they've done really well is trying to they've have built a great platform where they are using many products that can be again siloed as separate applications, but is one application from that recruitment to retirement. So if you remember that one page on the slide deck where it talked about the pieces of that employee management, all of that already lives in the system. So anyway, so I'm currently signed in as my client admin login. This would be a very similar experience to you all using the system. But the key things that I really did want to highlight is our employees HR management drawer now. So as clients who do use the system, they are, maybe tracking assets. So again, different types of property that maybe is handed out or given to employees, again, completely trackable in here, to more HR administration from different, documents that you may upload or keep track of, to employee messages that you may want to send out to employees. They post in their portal. They can view those items, acknowledge those certain messages as well. Performance. So I have different types of performances available to use inside of iSolve. First up is awards. Maybe you give out specific awards, maybe monthly, maybe a safety award, whatever that may be, completely customizable to your business. To corrective actions. Corrective actions can be very helpful in terms of just managing that employee's profile whenever you have data in one place. Maybe now you're having to review their performance, put them on a performance action plan, performance improvement plan, whatever you may call them at your organization. But having a place that you're tracking in one area makes it, again, helpful to keep information cohesive. So here you can see some examples, excessive absenteeism, no call, no shows, a safety infraction, tardiness, again, completely customizable to the different types of corrective actions that you may want to track in the system. So, all right, you have these specific occurrences. Then maybe there are specific actions as well that you need to apply. So, do they just need to be coached? Do they have a verbal warning, a written warning, suspension, unpaid, suspension, whatever that those things may look like? What are those corrective actions? I didn't really mention this or highlight this a whole lot, but the system does have a performance review ratings and performance review different templates and types. So if you are currently tracking performance evaluations, employees can perform their own review of themselves. Then that data lives in the system. Then maybe a manager, supervisor, if they're responsible for performance review, if you're currently using a document and it's being hand completed, you can also automate that where you are using the system to ask the same questions, fill it out, and it already lives in the system as well. Now, with performance reviews, if you have a specific schedule of these, so maybe you do something after 90 days of service, maybe it's something an annual review. Maybe you have a safety review, depending upon your business and the type of manufacturing that you do have. You may have other different types of reviews that you need to perform. Well, track that in iSolved. It allows you to set expiration dates, reminder dates of upcoming reviews as well. All right, training and development. So for training and development, certifications, I've briefly have talked about this, but again, using a system or an application that can track these for you to put expiration dates on them, remind employees of an upcoming license to be renewed. If again, they're performing, a particular task that they need to have a CDL license, once they complete their testing and get their certification, are they uploading that or giving you then those results so that you can track that and have that in the system? Again, you can upload that into this application as well. Education also allows you to track inside of the system skills. So what types of skills do you also want to keep track of? Again, for just maintaining good employee records. But again, the more information you have in the system, the more that you can get out of it as well. And then last but not least, training. So if you do have specific trainings that is conducted internally, is that something that is mandatory, allowing employees to make sure that they have this on their calendar, make sure that they're getting completed. I did mention, sexual harassment training is a requirement in the state of Illinois. So are you tracking that somewhere and notating that it is getting accomplished? So those are just some of those features that can be customized and set up inside of the system for you. Let me go out to my employee that I was updating earlier. So Cameron Bailey here. So underneath their record here, so some of those things that I highlight at the client level, I just wanted to show what that does look like once you're logging and using this in the system. So for company assets for Cameron, Cameron has a cell phone. Cameron's got a door a key and a code and a laptop. So if you're tracking this all in one place, it makes it easier to run a report, have a list of their company property that they do have. So in the event Cameron is let go or they quit, you can easily, okay, verify what are those items that I need to collect, or maybe you need to disable. If you have, IT personnel, we can give them access to the system so that they can access those company assets so they know what they need to obviously collect at the end of the day. I want to hop down to performance then. So at the awards, I mentioned that. So again, if you want to track those types of awards that you give out, again, the more information you put in here allows you to report on them and create and run reports, create custom reports. If you're using the occurrence section in the system here, so again, creating a log and building, a case in the event that you need to have, proper documentation, you absolutely should use a system versus trying to keep track of this on paper. So creating those occurrences, tardy back last year, and then we had a safety issue last month. So with those types of occurrences, then is there a follow-up of a corrective action? So here, if they again are late to work, there was a conversation of the tardiness. And I had a safety issue or an incident, and here I've logged and documented that there was a written warning by the manager for a safety issue. There's a little regulatory tab as well. If you are tracking disability, EEO, veterans information, this can all be living in one application, such as the system that we're currently talking about today, iSolved. If there's OSHA incidents, again, you have got now an OSHA log, so you can record those incidents. That way it's all in one place. And now the system will let you create your Form 300A inside of the system as well. So lots of bells and whistles that is available at fingertips. A lot of this is very customizable and tailored to your business needs, from labor tracking to compliance piece when it comes to managing your employees at your facilities. Okay, I've talked a lot. I've highlighted quite a bit of things today. You may have more questions or want to go over anything in particular. Feel free to reach out to me. So just to kind of wrap up, we are offering a special for potential new customers. So we are giving away 6 months of free payroll and timekeeping in 2026. So if you are currently on the lookout for different applications or products, I'd be happy to talk to you more. Happy to do an in-depth demo, understand your business needs to see if this system would be a good fit for you. So any questions, feel free to reach out. My contact information is listed here on the screen. I will also just be reaching out to everyone, make sure I've answered your questions, or if you have just general questions when it comes to using an HRIS solution, I'm also happy to help answer those questions. So I appreciate everyone's time today. Feel free to reach out if you have any other questions. Otherwise, I will hang on here and will answer whatever questions you may have. Hopefully, Cynthia, you were able to listen in at some point. Thanks, everyone. If you don't have any questions,